Good evening everyone. Welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am your educator and today we are going to analyze the Hindu newspaper for 8th June 2020. आप सभी का स्वागत है अर्पिता शर्मा क्लासेस में। आज हम द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर फॉर 8th June 2020 एनालाइज करने जा रहे हैं। Before we analyze the newspaper, I would like to inform you that the class PDFs you can find them easily on my Telegram channel. The name of the Telegram channel is Simplifying UPSC with Ease. The link is given below in the description box as well. क्लास शुरू करने से पहले एक छोटी सी अनाउंसमेंट है आप सभी के लिए। हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल पे आपको क्लास के पीडीएफ्स मिल जाते हैं इजीली, तो वहां से आप क्लास के पीडीएफ्स को डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। टेलीग्राम चैनल का नाम है सिंप्लीफाइंग यूपीएससी विद ईज और उसका लिंक नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में भी दिया गया है। ठीक है, तो टेलीग्राम ऐप बहुत ही सिंपल ऐप है, उसको आप इंस्टॉल कर सकते हो। आप सर्च बार में अगर सिंप्लीफाइंग यूपीएससी विद ईज टाइप करोगे आपको चैनल इजीली मिल जाएगा। Also, I am taking a free live special class tomorrow at 3 p.m. 60 minutes का लेक्चर होगा, 1 hour का लेक्चर, पार्टीशन ऑफ इंडिया फ्रॉम दी बुक स्पेक्ट्रम बाय राजीव अहीर। तो राजीव अहीर की किताब स्पेक्ट्रम पब्लिकेशन से हम पार्टीशन ऑफ इंडिया चैप्टर उठाएंगे कल, और ये फ्री स्पेशल क्लास होगी अनअकैडमी प्लस पे। सो यू कैन रजिस्टर टू दिस फ्री स्पेशल क्लास which will be taken at 3 p.m. tomorrow. The link is given below in the डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स। नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में इसका लिंक भी आपको दिया हुआ है, वहां से आप रजिस्टर कर सकते हो। ऑल्सो आई एम टेकिंग डेली फ्रॉम मंडे टू फ्राइडे एमसीक्यू क्विज क्लास ऑन अनअकैडमी यूपीएससी करंट अफेयर्स यूट्यूब चैनल। अनअकैडमी का जो ये यूट्यूब चैनल है, अनअकैडमी यूपीएससी करंट अफेयर्स, देयर आर मेनी यूट्यूब चैनल्स फॉर अनअकैडमी बट दिस वन यूपीएससी करंट अफेयर्स, ये जो चैनल है राइट, यहाँ पर आई एम टेकिंग डेली एमसीक्यू क्विजेस right at 9:30 p.m. at night. Half an hour की क्लास होती है, it's an half an hour class. So daily whatever current affairs you have read, you can practice them through this mock MCQ test which I am taking on Unacademy's UPSC Current Affairs YouTube channel. You can subscribe to this channel and also daily at 9:30 from Monday to Friday join this class for current affair practice. Okay, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily Hindu news analysis, important international organization related classes, strategy classes, polity classes, economic classes, etc. And also I am teaching live on Unacademy Plus. I am taking crash course on current affairs through MCQs. Now you can get 10% discount on Unacademy Plus subscription by using this code Sharma20. ये code use करके आपको directly 10% का discount Unacademy Plus पर मिल सकता है। स्टार्टिंग विद न्यूज नंबर फर्स्ट, पहले न्यूज से स्टार्ट करते हैं। ओडिशा प्लान्स मेगा एजुकेशनल कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर ट्राइबल स्टूडेंट। दिस इज फॉर जीएस पेपर 2। ओडिशा गवर्नमेंट इज कमिंग अप विद 3 मेगा एजुकेशनल कॉम्प्लेक्स which will be exclusively for the tribal students. Exclusively they are working for the tribal students to harness their spotting skills, academic skills. They are coming up with 3 mega educational complexes. 3 मेगा एजुकेशनल कॉम्प्लेक्स के साथ ये लोग ओडिशा गवर्नमेंट इज कमिंग अप। अकॉर्डिंग टू 2011 सेंसस, 2011 के सेंसस के मुताबिक ओडिशा ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन इट इज 9.17% ऑफ कंट्रीज ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन। टोटल पॉपुलेशन का 9.17% ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन है उड़ीसा में, एंड दी ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन इन ओडिशा इज 22.85% ऑफ स्टेट्स टोटल पॉपुलेशन। The proposed educational complex will be established in tribal dominated districts like Keonjhar, Sundargarh and Mayurbhanj. Santal and Bhuyan are two dominant tribal groups living in Keonjhar, Mayurbhanj and Sundargarh districts. You have to remember the prominent tribal groups which are living here. आपको ये याद रखना है ये कौन से स्टेट को बिलोंग करती है। They belong to Odisha, Santal and Bhuyan, right? Funds required for the project will be sourced from Odisha Mineral Bearing Areas Development Corporation. Underline this, it is important for prelims. The campus will have state-of-art facilities also to improve the educational and sporting skills of tribal students from class 1 to class 12. Skill development centers will also be initiated, will also be established. Clear? So this is very very important for you prelims. ये न्यूज आपके prelims के लिए बहुत important है। Whether you are giving 2020 exam, 2021 or 2022, this is important for prelims. Now the next important news: restore April status along LAC, says India. So here senior military commander talks are going on between India and China to resolve the border standoff along the LAC. India has firmly conveyed its demand to China for restoring the status quo as existed in April along the border during the senior military commander talks on Saturday. Ministry of External Affairs has said that the talks were held in a cordial and positive atmosphere. Both sides will continue the military and diplomatic engagement to resolve the situation. Sources have said that during the talks each side put across their issues. सोर्सेस के मुताबिक जब ये वार्तालाप सैटरडे को हो रही थी दोनों की साइड्स के बीच में, तो दोनों ही साइड्स ने अपने अपने इश्यूज को सामने रखा. दैट दीज आर द इश्यूज वी आर फेसिंग राइट नाउ नियर द बॉर्डर एरिया. India was firm on restoring the status quo of April. That is, whatever status was there in April, we are firm on restoring that and pull back of Chinese troops. The Chinese side raised in objections to India's infrastructure development near the border area. Now, what is the importance of this talk? ये जो meeting हुई है इसकी importance क्या है? That commander, senior military commander level talks are always at the highest level, right? जब भी senior military commander level talks होती हैं, these are the highest level talks to address the issues of standoff. Communication between senior military commanders, it will also make sure that tensions don't flare up on the ground, because when the chiefs are agreeing to certain issues, to certain points, then there is no doubt that the army and the soldiers will also agree. राइट जब आपके चीफ्स ही अग्री कर रहे हैं किसी एक टॉपिक पे वार्तालाप कर रहे हैं, फाइनलाइज कर रहे हैं कुछ, तो बाकी के जो आपके सोल्जर्स होंगे, आर्मी होगी, वो चीफ की बात मानेंगे. राइट. India has held that infrastructure development would go in the Indian territory and that China had already developed infrastructure on its side also. So, because China was objecting, right? China बोल रहा था, China was saying that you cannot develop infrastructure, you cannot do the infrastructure development near the border area. But India said that when you are developing infrastructure on your side, why can't we do so? China's actions violate the existing boundary agreement, which is meant to preserve peace and tranquility on the border. So the conclusion of this meeting is the Ministry of External Affairs said that the talks were held in a cordial and positive atmosphere. Both the sides have come to a resolve to the situation, and both sides agreed to peacefully resolve the matter in the border areas in accordance with the bilateral agreements which were signed between both the countries. Now next important editorial. In Persian Gulf littoral, cooperative security is the key. This author of this editorial is Hamid Ansari, former Vice President of India. The United Nations defines Persian Gulf as body of water. The land around is are shared by 8 countries: Bahrain, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates. All the member of UN. There is a commonality of interest among them, which is being the major producers of crude oil and natural gas, and thereby contributing critically to the global economy and to their own prosperity. So here Mr. Hamid Ansari is raising the significance of Persian Gulf and the countries which are surrounding the Persian Gulf. यहाँ पर हामिद अंसारी जो हमारे फॉर्मर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट भी हैं, वो पर्शियन गल्फ की इंपॉर्टेंस को हाईलाइट कर रहे हैं. व्हाट इज पर्शियन गल्फ? वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स. It is the area of sea between Saudi Arabia and Iran. I'll show you in the map also. This is Persian Gulf. This is the area of sea between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Everybody can see this. सब देख सकते हैं. ईरान और सऊदी अरेबिया के बीच में ये एक water body है, right? It's an area of the sea. The lands around it are shared by 8 countries, right? Now, what are these 8 countries? It is Bahrain, Iran, right? Over here you can see this is Iran. इधर आप देख सकते हो ईरान. बहरेन यू कैन सी ओवर हियर. कतर ओवर हियर यू कैन सी, राइट? इधर आप कतर देख सकते हो. सो बहरेन, ईरान, इराक, कुवैत, ओमान, कतर, सऊदी अरेबिया, यूएई. ऑल दीज आर मेंबर्स ऑफ यूएन, यूनाइटेड नेशंस के ये मेंबर्स हैं. यूएई ओवर हियर यू कैन सी, ओमान ओवर हियर, राइट? इधर आप देख सकते हो ईरान, इराक, कुवैत, राइट, कतर. So these are the countries which are sharing borders with Persian Gulf, and all of these are members of UN, United Nations के members भी हैं. Plus the main thing which they share the commonality is that they are Major producers of crude oil and natural gas. This is the commonality which these countries share. These countries are major oil and natural gas producers of the world. They bring prosperity to their economies also. They help the global community to meet their energy needs as well. So basically this region is of geopolitical significance. ये जो region है इसकी geopolitical significance को आप ignore नहीं कर सकते. You cannot ignore the geopolitical significance of this region. The region is also known for its unrest because of two reasons. There are two types of unrest also in this region. Many powers act in the region to influence the countries, creating proxy command centers, and the sectarian divide between Iran and Saudi Arabia. For 8 decades before 1970, this body of water, that is the Persian Gulf, it was a closely guarded British lake. 1970 से पहले 80 साल तक ब्रिटिश लेक के नाम पर इसको गार्ड करके रखा जाता था. It was administered in good measure by imperial civil servants from India. This control gave the British Empire exclusive powers in the Gulf in the key early decades of oil exploration and development in this century. But when this era ended, right, the regional players sought to assert themselves. जो आसपास के players हैं वो आ गए power में, right? उन्होंने इस पे कब्जा करना शुरू कर दिया. Clear? Now let us understand the American interest in this region. Regional rivalry and conflicts meant USA interfering in the region. A US State Department report in 1973 also clearly said that the upshot of all these cross currents is that the logic of Saudi-Iranian cooperation is being undercut by psychological, nationalistic and prestige factors which are likely to persist for a long time. There were two doctrines which were formulated in this region. First was Nixon doctrine. Second was Carter doctrine. First of all, let me explain to you what is the meaning of doctrine. Doctrine क्या होता है ये समझ लेते हैं. A doctrine is a statement of principle of policy. That is something larger and broader than mere policy. एक तो होता है आपका policy, one is policy, another is doctrine. Doctrine means something which is larger than policy, something which has a broader implication. Doctrine is a flexible context within which specified policies are developed. Basically, it is like a foundation on which policies are developed. Doctrines are important as statements of intention directed to foreign countries. Clear? So, twin pillars policy, US policy to promote Iran and Saudi Arabia as local guardians of US interest in Persian Gulf. It is the twin pillar policy adopted by US. US क्या कहता है? US knows that Iran and Saudi Arabia, they are not on good terms. So basically, Iran and Saudi Arabia को it has designated as guardians of US's interest in Persian Gulf. Hence, following the twin pillar policy. Alright, now let us understand American interest. Now, according to Nixon doctrine के according, the US sought to supply arms and assistance to its threatened allies and friends, provided that they assumed the primary responsibility for providing necessary manpower to US. Because US maintains a small naval force in Gulf region, right, in the Persian Gulf region. But the Carter doctrine, it is widely given to the US policy of ensuring Western dominance of Greater Persian Gulf area and using military means if deemed necessary to ensure unhindered export of Persian Gulf oil to international markets. This is the Carter doctrine. Both of them you have to remember for prelims. ये prelims के लिए आपको याद रखनी है. Clear? The essential ingredients of such doctrine policy framework would thus be to ensure condition of peace and stability in the region, freedom to all states of the Gulf littoral to express their hydrocarbon and other natural resource and to export them, freedom of commercial shipping in the Gulf region, freedom of access to Gulf waters through the Strait of Hormuz, prevention of conflict that may impinge on the freedom of trade and shipping, prevention of emergence of conditions that may impinge on any of these considerations. Clear everyone? इतना सबको clear हो गया? All right. Now the next important editorial is paging the private sector in the COVID fight. Very important editorial during these times. इस situation में बहुत ही important editorial है. Now here the authors Vijay Shri and A. Venkat Raman. Right, these authors they say that the COVID-19 pandemic is unlikely to disappear in the immediate future, and Managing the epidemic and ensuring full complement of healthcare will require extraordinary resource and investment. Right now, when we look at public health sector, India's public health sector has already spread itself thin in tackling the pandemic. So here the authors they are saying that we need to take the help of private sector in the fight against COVID-19. Authors का कहना ये है कि हमें private sector की help लेने की जरूरत है इस fight में to against this pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic is unlikely to disappear in the immediate future, and India's public health sector has been employed to battle this crisis. Right? The current strategies to involve the private sector in fighting the infectious disease are shrouded in ambiguity. That is, there is help which we are going to take from private sector. The strategy through which we can involve private sector right now are ambiguous. There are no clear policy guidelines to use the private sector resource. How will the payments be made to the private sector if they are helping the public sector? Some policy options are to leverage private sector resource for testing, hospitalization, procurement of biomedical equipment, supplies, and a central intelligence system. These are some of the strategies or policy options which we are right now experimenting. Right now, basically, there was a news that the private, hospitals, they are charging rupees 1 lakh for a day. अगर कोई कोविड-19 पेशेंट आता है और उसको प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में बेड चाहिए तो एक दिन का 1 लाख रुपए चार्ज किया जा रहा है. दिस इज नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल फॉर अ मिडिल क्लास पर्सन, राइट? फॉरगेट अबाउट द वल्नरेबल सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी. How this problem can be tackled with? Now here the government has to step in with certain important serious strategies. अगर हमें प्राइवेट सेक्टर की हेल्प पब्लिक सेक्टर में चाहिए तो हमें कुछ स्पेशल रूल्स, रेगुलेशन और स्ट्रैटेजीज ले डाउन करनी पड़ेगी. Right now the lab services, despite governments trying to scale up testing capacity in the country, there is still a long way to go for mass scale testing. Right now mass scale testing is not happening, right? Now, following options can be tested to scale up the testing capacity. Option number 1, an accredited private laboratory. It can be contacted to be co-located in a public health facility, preferably in tier 2 or tier 3 public hospitals. States that already have private labs under a public-private partnership, that is PPP. Now, this is also a part of GS paper 3, PPP model. Okay. Contract can be asked to add COVID-19 test as well. जो पब्लिक हॉस्पिटल, जो आपकी गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, राइट, जहां पर ऑलरेडी प्राइवेट पीपीपी पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप के तहत प्राइवेट लैब्स को हायर किया हुआ है, उनसे बात करके कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में कुछ चेंजेस करके COVID-19 टेस्ट भी करवाए जा सकते हैं. Government may also procure test kits and private sector could charge a service fee from the government. Option number 2 can be suspect cases can be issued vouchers for testing at any impaneled private lab so that they will not have to cover large distances. E-vouchers generated by telehealth call centers can subsequently be reimbursed by the government. And third option can be a mobile sample collection and testing facility. Right? अगर कोई testing facility तक नहीं पहुंच सकता तो testing facility उस तक पहुंच जाए. If a person cannot reach to a lab, the lab can reach to him. Right? That can be done with the help of mobile sample collection and testing facility, which can be operated by a private entity in high density cluster areas. Right? Clear? This can be attributed to the lab services. Now the hospitalization infrastructure, the hospital infrastructure. Option number 1, private contractor could be hired to overhaul an existing ward in a public hospital into an intensive care unit, that is the ICU ward. Under this turnkey project, an ICU ward could be made available within a short time. Second, option 2, in a scenario where district hospitals does not have staff to operate an ICU ward, there a private hospital partner could be contacted to provide staff and operate the ICU ward. And option 3 can be government can refer patients to impaneled private COVID-19 hospitals at a fixed package rate. राइट, ऐसा नहीं है प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल के पास गए और वो अंधाधुंध कोई भी फीस मांग रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. गवर्नमेंट रेफर कर सकती है पेशेंट्स को कि आप ये हमारा प्राइवेट टाई अप हॉस्पिटल है, आप यहाँ जा सकते हैं और एक फिक्स्ड पैकेज रेट है जिसके तहत आपसे जो भी पेमेंट है वो ली जाएगी. दिस काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रैटेजिक परचेजिंग और इंश्योरेंस रीएम्बर्समेंट से लेट्स से अंडर प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना, it requires clear policy directions, a very strong referral system, agreement on tariffs and quick reimbursement mechanism as well. Right now, currently government tariffs do not seem to evoke interest from the private sector, right? So government has to work up on this issue. The upsurge in the demand for test kits, ventilators, other biomedical supplies cannot be met by current manufacturers or supply chain sources. So here we need to repurpose through alternate sources. Indigenously is the need of the hour. That means in the country only we need to prepare these ventilators, these test kits, these biomedical supplies. Clear? And there should be a central intelligence system in place. एक central intelligence system भी होना चाहिए place में. An IT system with artificial intelligence capability should be the backbone of supporting all public and private sector efforts in fighting the COVID-19. Now the next important editorial on GS paper 3, addressing the elephant in the room. Everybody of you might have studied about this news. Kerala का जो elephant issue हुआ था, right? The death of a pregnant elephant in Kerala after she ate a pineapple laden with firecrackers. She died in this water body, right? And the good thing was that she did not harm anybody around her. किसी को भी इन्होंने harm नहीं किया. Sequence of events. The wild elephant had allegedly wandered out of the Silent Valley National Park in Palakkad in search of food. She just wandered out in search of food. She was hungry. When the animal allegedly bit into the fruit stuffed with firecrackers, she was grievously injured, eventually leading to her death. Now for GS paper 3, you need to study what is food bomb. It is also important for prelims. They can ask you this question in prelims. It is considered to be a traditional hunting practice. ये एक traditional hunting practice है. These food bombs are mainly placed to hunt and kill the wild boars, and in this process these bombs claim lives of other wild animals and even the livestock also. अब देखो practice तो hunting practice है, very traditional hunting practice to hunt and kill the wild boars. But this hunting practice is claiming the lives of the innocent animals as well. They are prepared, these food bombs are prepared by using locally available gunpowder and gelatin sticks which are used to make firecrackers. They are wrapped in animal parts like intestines and in fruits to attract the wild boars with its strong smell. Wild animals like leopards and jackal, they try to feast on these and meet a tragic end. जब एनिमल इस तरीके के फ्रूट को जिसके अंदर एक्सप्लोसिव भरा हुआ है उसको चबाता है तो उसके मुंह में ही वो ब्लास्ट हो जाते हैं, जिसके वजह से एक बहुत ही पेनफुल डेथ सफर करनी पड़ती है उस एनिमल को. This is horrifying reminder of the rising conflict between humans and animals, and it is expected to grow in the coming time. This raises serious question of development at the cost of environment. We can develop, right? But should this development take place at the cost of environment? क्या environment को हानि पहुंचाकर, क्षति पहुंचाकर हम इस तरीके के development को undertake कर सकते हैं? This is the question right now. We are at conflict with the wildlife and we have to find a way to coexist because humans also have a right to live. आप ये कैसे कह सकते हो कि जानवर because वो अपने आप को govern नहीं कर सकते properly तो उनके पास right नहीं है जिंदा रहने का. They also have the right to live, right? So right now a culture shift is the demand of the situation to protect the biodiversity, to save the biodiversity. Next important news, China's internal pressures are driving Xi's tough stance on border. So in this interview, this is the interview published in the Hindu newspaper, wherein Jaidev Ranade, who is a former additional secretary, cabinet secretariat, government of India and president, he has, expressed his views about the border issue going on between India and China. Border issue जो चल रहा है इंडिया चाइना के बीच में, उसके ऊपर जयदेव रनाडे सर ने अपने जो views हैं, opinions है, उसको express किया है. Now the views, the author claims that the current situation is different from previous standoffs. Previously जो भी standoffs हुए हैं उससे different है current situation, right? Current issue. Unlike the previously localized standoffs, the current standoffs have occurred at multiple points along the line of actual control from Ladakh to Nakula in Sikkim. There have been intrusions even at places where there have been no cases of difference in perception regarding the borderline. वहाँ भी intrusions देखने को मिले हैं from China's side. And now activation of new diplomatic fight between Nepal and India, right? Using this fight, China is trying to pressurize India. China India को pressurize करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. What are the factors at play in this case, in this standoff? The factors at play are domestic pressure. Facing internal pressure, China's leadership appears to be taking a tougher line on issues related to sovereignty with respect to Taiwan, Hong Kong, South China Sea and along the Indian border. Economic situation, US-China trade war को लेकर भी China is right now badly hit because of the pandemic, and US-China trade war is also aggravating the situation. So they are also, very agitated because of these economic cases. That is why ये stand off है ना, ये different है इस बार का, क्योंकि यहाँ पर चाइना के ऊपर ना प्रेशर बहुत है. हर तरीके से चाइना अपना ग्रिप लूज कर रहा है. चाइना इज लूजिंग द ग्रिप. Political situation also, right? There is growing domestic criticism of Chinese leadership over handling the domestic conditions. Clear? So this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. आज की क्लास आप सभी को अच्छी लगी हो. If you really enjoyed today's class, then what you need to do is you need to like the video, share it with the other aspirants also, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.